What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and in today's episode of fun, I am going to give to you my weekly wrap-up. There is so much to tell you guys about that happened this week. I don't even know where to start first. Let's see. World Hoppers. I got asked to join in the World Hoppers group. If you have not seen one of the 4 announcement videos from Jessie May, Jade from Bedtime Bookworm, Jashana, or Elliot Brooks, I will have all 4 of those linked below for you to check out. I am super excited to have been asked to join in this amazing group. I just can't wait to see what this group is going to accomplish. It's very exciting. I am stoked. I also have a new patron in the Nerd Radiant rank, and that is Evie. Thank you so much to Evie and all my awesome patrons. As a result, I got a new camera. So thank you guys for your support. It means a lot. If you think your contribution does not matter, it absolutely does. So for the past few months that I've had my Patreon going, I've been saving it all up, putting it towards a new camera. Chris has also been a huge help in that. He sold off his old camera and its parts, and then we sold some of our retro video game collection. So now I have a new camera. It just came in the mail yesterday, so I literally have no idea how to operate it yet. So hopefully by the time you see next week's wrap up, we're gonna have a little bit better quality, maybe some neat tricks. I don't know. Don't expect too much at once. It takes me a minute to learn all that stuff. So on Halloween, I had my drawing from my giveaway that I did last month for the limited edition Disney Funko Pop, The Organist from the Haunted Mansion, Victor Geist, and the first volume of Nightfall. And Nikki from Dark Between the Pages won. She actually already bought the 3 volumes of Nightmareland Chronicles that are out because of me. I'll be getting this sent off to Nikki. If you're interested in this copy of Nightfall, comment down below with a sun emoji. I'll do a random comment generator and pick a winner for that if you're interested. Then yesterday, I got an envelope full of super cool merch from Michael Clark. I recently read The Patience of a Dead Man on my Kindle. It's his debut novel, which I absolutely love. I ordered it and the other 2 books of the trilogy in physical copies, so I should be getting those soon. But Michael Clark sent me a whole envelope of really cool stuff. I got a really awesome autographed picture of Mildred Wells, who is a character from the book, and she is freaking creepy. He sent me 3 autographed book plates that I get to put in my books when I get them, and it says, "Thank you, Leslie." I got a magnet, which is the cover of the first book. I got a little bookmark, but the most exciting is the Mildred bookmark, and it's autographed as well on the other side. That is so awesome. I saw Joshua Marcellus got this the other day. I was so jealous, and when I saw this, I just absolutely died. Absolutely love it so much. So while I'm talking to y'all about this, a question about book plates. I'm assuming they go inside the front cover. I've seen book plates for many different novels that have come out. I just have never actually purchased one, so I don't know where it goes. So somebody that knows, please comment down below and tell me where I'm supposed to stick these when I get my books. So now let's talk about what I read, what I'm reading, and what's on deck. In regards to the manga read along, Una and I are still working our way through Tokyo Ghoul Re. I have been absolutely and quite thoroughly confused through the whole reading of the Re series. I thought it was just me. I thought it was just maybe a little busy for my understanding, but Una actually said he didn't know what was going on either, which made me feel a whole lot better, because if somebody as smart as Una says he's confused about what's going on, that means that the author completely failed at his job, in my opinion, because if we're not understanding what's going on, there's a problem. One of those problems, in my opinion, is there are way too many characters. We have all of our old characters from Tokyo Ghoul, and then a shit ton of new characters introduced here in Re. And on top of all the new characters, they all look so similar. I don't know who is doing what or why. I am convinced that the author was under the influence of something when he wrote this series. Most of the time, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know if he was making it up as he went along and he confused himself. I just have no idea what's going on. It's just kind of gotten to the point where it's just ridiculous, and I almost feel like I'm hate reading it now. We're halfway through. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what the plot is supposed to be. I don't know where it's headed. Even the art isn't as good in this one as it was in Tokyo Ghoul. There have been a few scenes of art that had that level that I fell in love with in Tokyo Ghoul that just connected with me on a very emotional level. I am not impressed. I would never reread. I definitely will not purchase this series at all. Next up, I completed Leviathan Wakes, which is the first book in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. It was a phenomenal read. Favorite space opera I've ever read. I gave it 5 stars. I will say, after attending the live show with the Shelf Space Book Club and talking with the Shelf Spacers, I think my enjoyment of this book was enhanced by the fact that I watched the show first. So this may be the only book in history I would ever say watch the show first. I just absolutely loved this book. I have incorporated the entire series plus its novellas into my long-term reading plan to read over the next year. And that's it for completed reads. Now let's talk about what I'm currently reading. So November 1st, I started Romantic Outlaws, The Extraordinary Lives of Mary Wollstonecraft and Mary Shelley for my nonfiction November read. It's part of a read-along that's hosted by Kate Howe and Christy Lewis from Duskysian Space. I will have that information linked below for you. You know, I told y'all I don't read nonfiction, at least not by choice. I did enough of that when I was in school and college. When I saw Christy's video, the passion she had when talking about this book, and then I researched the book, all of that added up to make me really curious and interested in reading it. I expected I would like it. I didn't know I would love it. I cannot believe, I am floored by my reaction to the story. I'm about 60 pages in so far. At this point, I can't tell you what it is that I am enjoying so much. I don't know if the author just did a phenomenal job of researching and writing down the details of these two ladies' lives, or if the two Marys were just that fascinating. I am absolutely loving this journey. My standpoint, I'm reading for enjoyment. I do know that probably within the group reading this, there's going to be a lot of analytical readers and analytical thinkers. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they pull out of it versus what I pull out of it. So Mexican Gothic. I have about 35 pages left. It's absolutely killing me not to just sit down and binge it out real quick. The funny story about Mexican Gothic. When I started reading it, I didn't get into it immediately. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. It just didn't grab me immediately. About 60 to 70 pages in, I got a little interested. And then I kind of thought, well, I'm liking this book. I don't think it's a great book. I mean, I'm just liking it. But then I noticed that I was having trouble putting it down. I read over half the book in one day alone, so there must be something to it. And the fact that I really wanted to finish binging it out before filming today says a lot. It has an old traditional feel to it. I think it kind of threw me at first because so many of these type of vampy stories these days, everybody's kind of looking for a new, fresh angle to throw on it. And she went old school, traditional, just a long-term predator-prey situation. And I wasn't expecting it. And I think that's kind of what threw me at first, how I just didn't jump into it right away, and then all of a sudden I was just absolutely there for it. So I still have about 35 pages left. That is my first priority when I get done filming today. This is my first book by Sylvia Moreno-Garcia. I know she's got several others that a lot of people seem to like. I don't know if they're all in this same type of vein of feel, but I'm definitely interested in her writing style. I'm still working my way through Oathbringer with Storm Along 2020. I'm reading about 2 to 3 chapters per day. Oathbringer is so heavy. I don't know that I could read more than 2 to 3 chapters. There's so much happening that just needs to sink in and be thought about and just analyzed. But the chapters I read were chapter 63 to 73, and I'm about to probably drop some spoilers on those. So if you have not read through chapter 73, I would say skip ahead a little bit. I'll put the timestamp down below so that you know where to pick up at so you miss these spoilers. But I gotta talk to somebody, okay? Shaylin, my girl Shaylin. Shaylin is causing me more anxiety than Dalinar right now. Previously, I've just been really upset by Dalinar and his flashbacks. He, as a young man, was terrible. Seeing his flashbacks and how he was as a young soldier, we now understand why he and Sidious were such good friends, and that hurts. I never wanted to think of Dalinar that way, but I just kept telling myself, Leslie, not all good people start out good. Sometimes they are good people. The things that are required of them maybe shape and mold them to do something else. And then I just believe Dalinar became caught up in being the king's sword, that he just became immune to it, to all the death and the killing and the fighting, and lived for it. He loved the thrill. That has been very hurtful to me. But this section, Shaylin is just killing me. She has all these personas, and sometimes she layers another persona on top of another persona. And this section, she almost lost herself. What's gonna happen if she does that? You know, she was tempted to take on the persona of a lady that they were robbing. What happens if she does that? What happens? And then there was a section where she actually told somebody that Shaylin and Vale were both personas. Who is she really? Is she actually even Shaylin Devar? Is she somebody else? I didn't trust her in Way of Kings. I fell in love with her in Words of Radiance. Now in this one, I don't know what to think. I am back to being very mistrustful. She is very, very dangerous. She's in danger of losing who she is, tipping into madness. She's the only one that can hear the unmade. This is very disturbing. Very disturbing. And finally, we get our appearance from Wit. He tells a really interesting story about one of the moons and a queen, and how a particular people actually ended up being blue, which was something I was curious about when I ran into one of them in a previous book. An interesting exchange between Shaylin and Wit, which funnily enough, Wit saw through her veil illusion and knew that she was Shaylin. So they're talking, and she tells Wit, I'm going to learn how to change the world. And he tells her, you already know how. Learn why. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't get to see much from Kaladin in this section. They're all currently infiltrating Kholinar to figure out what's going on with Elokar's wife. I think she's just bad news, and he's not willing to accept that yet. He thinks she's being manipulated, and she probably is, but I still think she was just bad from the get-go. I actually bet she was a plant from the beginning, like when they first got married. Prediction. Y'all remember that. Put a pin in it. We'll see if that comes true. What's funny is Shaylin can give all of them illusions, but Kaladin's keeps wearing off. He's also found out that the High Marshal that is currently trying to lead the King's Guard, the ones that are still loyal, is a woman. A light-eyed woman, but still a woman, which is kind of a big deal. I finally got to a flashback of Dalinar's where his wife, Evie, convinces Dalinar to resist the thrill, talk to Talanan, and see if they can resolve the issue without battle and killing each other, because it's just Alethi people killing other Alethi people. It is an absolute waste. And Dalinar does. He listens to his wife. He does as she asks. They come to a peaceful resolution, or at least it was left that way in that flashback at that time. That really made me excited. I'm like, have we finally come to the turning point where Dalinar starts molding himself into the man that he is now? I don't know, but I felt really good about it. We'll see what happens in next week's reading. So that's what I read, what I'm reading. Let's talk about what's on deck. Una and I will be reaching the conclusion to Tokyo Ghoul Re, and then we will be starting Full Metal Alchemist. I'm very excited for that. So once I finish Mexican Gothic this afternoon, I can't decide if I want to start The Sword of Kaigan or The Dragon Republic. I know I won't read The Burning God this month. There's just no way. Right now, I just can't decide which one I want to start with. This Sword of Kaigan is Michael Nipp's patron buddy read. It's also my book club pick for shelf space. And then The Dragon Republic is just one that was on my TBR to read this month since Burning God's coming out. I'm going to read Burning God next month, so there's no rush on The Dragon Republic. So I'll probably go ahead and start The Sword of Kaigan. And there is the weekly wrap-up, guys. So many cool announcements, so many fun things going on, so much good reading going on. Whew, I told y'all I had an exciting week. It's just a great freaking time to be a reader. So much good stuff coming out. Guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope your morning is off to a great start. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.